Hey everybody, I'm Monty, and Channel 5 is reporting that how you eat Oreos says something about your personality, according to Kraft Foods. They surveyed some people and they found out that people who just take a bite out of the Oreo are easygoing and self confident, while people who dunk the Oreo in milk or whatever you would dunk it in, should be milk, display more energetic and adventurous qualities. Twisters, people that twist it off, like twist and and lick the cream, all that stuff, they are sensitive and trendy. This is absolutely ridiculous. But hey, there you go. So however you eat your Oreos, they've actually surveyed people. I am a dunker. So that's the only way I really like to eat them. I usually like to dunk mine with the milk, get them a little soft, all that. But I don't know about all that. But there you go. All right, guys. Back for another episode. Good to be back, man. Back and rolling again, Channel 5. We appreciate you watching and your support. Just very quickly want to talk, Thanksgiving was a couple weeks ago, and it's always great to reflect and give thanks. And, Bible says in everything give thanks. You're supposed to. In everything that you do, you're supposed to give thanks. And it really kind of made me just start to think about how to count your blessings. And what I want to say, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but the easiest way to count your blessings is not to go out and, okay, my car is 1, my house is 2, my if you have a wife or a husband, 3, and your family. No, not things like that. Those are blessings, but the best way to count your blessings is to realize that whatever state you're in, somebody else has it a lot worse than you. You really want to count your blessings, watch the news and watch what's going on and people that are in some very, very hard situations around this world. You know what I mean? Just look at just some of the things that happen. Look at what some people's day-to-day is that is maybe completely foreign to you. There are people in war-torn countries. There are people that are struggling to find food to eat every day. People that are dealing with things on a level that you could never imagine. And it's not to put them down, because you know what you find out? Some of those people that don't have hardly anything, and oh my goodness, they can't even go to the mall, and they don't have internet, and how do they, get on social media? They're actually, even with all those circumstances, they're some of the most happiest and upbeat people. It's some of us that feel like we have everything and every little bit and money and all that, still don't really find what's truly happy. So that's why I say, first of all, appreciate your situation. Understand that there's people out there that have it a lot worse than you. There are people that you might work hard at your job. Somebody's working twice as hard, getting paid 3 times less. You know what I mean? And seem to be glad to do it. And you would be like, I couldn't take that a day. So that's the first way you can count your blessings. It's like, God, you know what? Even if everything's not right, I'm going to thank you that, my trial might not be that person's trial. I'm praying for that person. I'm praying for them to see better days. But you got to put that better days in perspective, because that person, I watched a documentary once, and there was a guy that started a factory in America, and, things weren't going so well. And he was from Japan, I believe, or China. And so he took the managers at that plant in America and he flew them to his other plant, in Asia. And when you saw those people in Asia, how hard they worked and how long they worked. First of all, one of the managers in Asia asked one of the managers in America, he said, so let me get this straight. He said, you guys get 8 days off a month? Like weekends off. And the American manager was like, yeah. He's like, don't y'all? He's like, no. He's like, if production's good, maybe 3 or 4 days, but if we're struggling, he's like, ain't no days off. They were just like, but the thing about it was the people were so glad to have jobs. Like they were just, one guy was like, I had a son, he's about 2 or 3 months. I've only seen him like 4 times because I'm working, but he's like, I'm so glad to have a job to be able to provide for my family. It's just a different perspective. Now that documentary, we'll have to do like we seen it on that because that documentary was very eye-opening. Put it like this. Those managers in America that saw that plant in Asia, one of the managers, he was just crying at one point. He just couldn't believe the people. And working. Machine-like, no mess-ups. So they learn all that stuff to take back to the American plant. As soon as they get back to the American plant, maybe this was editing, I don't know, but this did not seem like editing because the guy literally said, he's like, one of the workers comes up to one of the managers like, yeah, where you guys been? He's like, do you know the microwave is still not working in the break room? It's terrible here. Like this guy's just yelling about the microwave. The only people in Asia wasn't thinking about no break room microwave. Wasn't no breaks. They was just working, But again, from their perspective, was doing great, was fine, weren't even complaining. But sometimes we get so much and we complain. So that's why I say the first thing you can do, all right, is look at your brother, man. Look at your fellow man, your brother, your sister. See them out there in these other countries, these other circumstances. There's people even in this country, homeless. God, I thank you, because that could be me, but it's not. And now, again, not to look down on anybody, but just to understand the perspective. Count your blessings. And count your things, you know what I'm saying? Be grateful for things you have, but take it back to the root. Man, God, I'm grateful just to be here in this time. I'll tell you what, as a black man, not everything is great, but listen, had I been born in an earlier time, things would have been a lot worse to be a black man and a lot of times in this world, you know what I'm saying? Again, we struggling, we fighting for some, things still now that it seems like we shouldn't be having to fight for, but, take it back 50, 100, 200 years in certain spots, it was hazardous to be a black man and a black woman. You see, that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes we don't even think about that. We just think about, oh my God, the line at Starbucks was so long. Oh, I got an attitude for 3 hours about that. Really? Count your blessings. All right. We being thankful. Count your blessings and be thankful for it. There's a great song Tasha Cobbs has out right now. Tasha Cobbs Leonard. Shout out. I was at the taping. It was unbelievable. Her and Mary. It's a song called I'm Counting My Blessings, telling you what God has done. It's outstanding. And think about good memories you have. You know what I'm saying? Like just some good times in your life. I'll tell y'all what. Story time. One of my fondest memories was I was a senior in high school, and it was my basketball team. I was on the team. We were playing, and it was kind of the season started around like late October, November, December. We go to like March, and so it was early in the season, and we would play a couple games, and then we would always play this early tournament. And it was just a little 4-team tournament where we would go. I played at a small school in my city, but we were such a small school, we didn't play the other schools in the city pretty much. We would go like to these small little towns in the suburbs, and we would play these teams. So we were playing this team in Bath. It's called Bath, Michigan, like taking a bath. Bath, Michigan. And they would have this little tournament. And every year our school would do it, and we win every year because these teams were even smaller than us, and we just dominate every year. So it was just a foregone conclusion. Now my junior year though, I didn't play as much at the start of the season. I started to play more toward the later parts of the season, and I remember that we went to that tournament. And, we never even paid attention to who was in the tournament. We knew the team from Bath, the home team, would be there. It'd be us and two other just run over teams. And, man, that first game of the tournament, we didn't pay attention. And I remember finally like looking at the thing at the program in the locker room, and it says such and such team from Detroit. Now this is the year before, and I said Detroit. I was like, what, Detroit? And so I remember coming out on that floor and seeing nothing but brothers. Now this is, y'all gotta understand, I'm in a small school in rural Michigan. So I'm used to being like not just the only black person on the basketball court, the only black person in the arena. Many times. It wasn't even a thing for me no more. Like it didn't even intimidate me. I was just like, that's what it was. So to see a whole black team I'm going against, I was like, wow. And I remember that year, I was like, oh, Jesus. I was glad not to play. I'm like, they're going to kill us. And I remember my white teammates was just like, oh. But we actually won that game. We won the tournament. So fast forward to my senior year, I'm a little wary now because first of all, I'm like, let me look, Detroit. Okay, Detroit ain't here. Thank God. And so we played one team and we won. And then we came back. So we would like play like on Wednesday and then we go back and play on Friday. Right. And so here's what you got to understand, y'all. This is the 90s when I'm, in high school. And you gotta know this. Even in the 90s, nothing was better than being on your sports team and playing on the road. Had to be on the road because they didn't do this for home games. Playing on the road and playing on the weekend because they didn't do this really on like during the week, during school nights. You know what I'm saying? So like Tuesday games, Thursday. But if it was a Friday game and we played on the road and we won. Now, sometimes I think they did it when we lost to it and we would win the game. We would get in the bus. We would ride back. We were already excited, especially if we won. And the bus driver would make that turn into a McDonald's. I know, young people, what's big about McDonald's? My mom takes me to McDonald's every day. I eat McDonald's. That wasn't us. McDonald's was still a treat for us, okay? Oh, my God. Our bus driver was always sarcastic, pretending like not seeing it. We went McDonald's, and turning McDonald's, the bus would erupt. And the McDonald's people, they would be glad for us. It'd be some McDonald's in some little, cow town. Like, there was never like now if a whole sports team come in and be like, oh, Lord, what y'all want? It wasn't like that. They would be glad, and we would act a nut. Not going too far, but, shooting the straws at each other, laughing loud. And they would never have a problem with it. It would be so much fun. You got that $5 your mother, you begged her for, so she gave you $5 to eat. You riding with the team, the junior varsity's there, the coaches, the cheerleaders. It was everything, right? So we are playing this game. So now we're excited because we're like, bet. We win tonight, baby. It's McDonald's time. We care more about the McDonald's than the trophy. But I'll tell you what, that night, this team, it was the same team we whoop every year. It's the home team. It's Bath. They won their little first tournament game. It's the championship. It's just a little tournament. But them boys came to play that night, and we was in a dogfight. I'll never forget that. I just remember, like, we totally took them for granted. And it's just like, I remember looking at them like, hey, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all know y'all supposed to lose? Like, what y'all doing? And their crowd is in it because they ain't won. They were terrible for years. And this one guy was just lighting us up. But it turns out at the end, we basically won at the buzzer, which I had never been a part of. One of our guys, I was open, but he didn't pass to me. But he shot, and we basically went. And our fans, little fans, was there. They stormed the floor. Like, I never experienced something like that. So, wow. We won the game. We win the tournament. We're losing our minds, and we're going to McDonald's. And then to top it off, that was a Friday. We got Saturday, Sunday, Monday back to school. No, because that was the Friday before winter break for Christmas. Y'all, I remember that Monday, and the crazy part was somehow like they made tapes of the game really fast. And so I remember like that Monday, perfect. The snow had fallen like Sunday. It would have been a school day. It would have been a snowing day anyway, like Michigan, thick snow, but it was so pretty out. I had my tape to watch the game. I had my video games there with me. I just remember sitting back on the couch like, it gets no better than this. It gets no better than this. Like, I'm rewinding the tape, watching the game when it's shot. Man, cherish some memories, man. Some good times. Like, that was great. That was, well, maybe not the highlight playing ball, but that was a good highlight. That was a good one. You know, and that whole experience, I'll never forget that. You know, I've been out of high school for 65 years, but that was some fun, man. That's why I say count your blessings. Remember good times, man, good memories. Some stuff that happened, you know, not everything got to just be all doom and gloom. I know social media sometimes, man, that's all people want to dwell on about, but think about some good stuff too. There's some good times that you had and cherish them, you know, and you have another good time, enjoy yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't always just be so, I don't want to, you know, try to do more things, all right? I'm telling you, count your blessings. You know, give thanks in everything. Now, that's in the bad times and the good. But when you good to good times, man, make sure you really be like, man, I'm going to really enjoy it. I wish I enjoyed it. I wish I would have been young enough to really, really enjoy, you know, back then, because we were just so used to it and having fun. But, you know, when you're a kid, you know, you think everything going to last forever. But cherish them times, all right? Guys, we'll pick it up again next time, next episode. I told you we're going to try to give you as many as we can before we get to the new year, all right? This is the Mighty Sharp Network. All right, Channel 5, you know what to do, man. Be blessed. Stay sharp.